Welcome back to the channel, and if you know me, I like watches, and I don't really stop talking about them, or at least that's what my friends and family tell me. But anyways, today's a special day. I have over here my watch box, so I'll be showing you guys everything that's kind of in there, showcasing my entire collection. And if you follow the channel for any given length of time, you'll know that I actually did a state of the collection in January of 2021. So this one, I guess I'm a little bit late, so it's technically February of 2022. So in that year's time period, we'll get to see what's kind of changed, what's come in, what's gone out. But anyways, also, I'll just leave a link down for you in the description below of that original video so you guys can even go and see what's actually changed. But anyways, if you do like the content, make sure to drop a like down below, subscribe to see more awesome stuff in the future. But anyways, with that out of the way, let's just roll the intro, then get into the reason why you clicked on this video in the first place. Okay, so this is how it's going to work. I will show you the watch. I will tell you a little bit about it, and maybe talk about what I don't like and what I like, and maybe how I got it. But anyways, I got 21 watches. I want to try and keep it under 20 minutes, which I don't even know if that's even possible. So if I do go over, I do apologize in advance, because I know there's going to be some person in the comments be like, you went over! Okay? Don't be that person. Nobody likes you. Maybe your parents do. Who knows? Maybe. We'll say with maybe. Anyways, first watch. It's on the wrist right now. It's a Tudor Black Bay, 41 millimeter. And it's the burgundy bezel, okay? And it's on a Tudor, like the aged Tudor leather strap, which I understand this basically makes this the ugly duckling, the black sheep of the Tudor Black Bay family. And I understand a lot of people be like, why didn't you go for a 58? Well, let's be real. Red bezel, in my opinion, looks way cooler. And that's called in my opinion, okay? I understand. My entire collection, I got a lot of weird watches, okay? So you can judge it how you want. But in my opinion, I like this one. And I also got it in a group buy for inventory. But as you'll notice, I got a couple other pieces that are quote-unquote should have been inventory, but I got an insane deal, so it was really hard to pass up. So also, I have a kind of a list of 6 Grail watches, and the red bay, the red bezel Black Bay was one of them that I really, really wanted to pick up. But anyways, that's enough of that one. Let's move along to another really, really weird watch, and you can judge me all you want. But this is a Tag Heuer Link chronograph. It's the Ayrton Senna limited edition. I understand a lot of people can be like, oh my goodness, you bought a Link? What on earth were you thinking? They're so ugly. You know what? I get it. The Link isn't for everybody. A lot of people think they're ugly. A lot of people think the bracelets are stupid. I'm going to tell you this. Think of the Link like you think of Crocs. They're ugly, but they are comfortable. I actually don't mind this. I actually think the bracelet's cool. That's my personal opinion. The ones from the 90s, hella ugly. The ones from like that they're selling right now, also ugly. But these ones are really nice. Basically, my uncle was selling this one, or he decided to sell a bunch of his Tag Heuer watches off because he collects tags. And I ended up buying this one off him because I was like, this is really cool. I had a Cat 2011 reference before, and I'd sold that off. So I had a bit of, seller's regret or seller's remorse, and I had to get this one when he was selling it. And me being a car guy, and Ayrton Senna just makes sense. Blue dial is also awesome. And if you notice, in my last video, or the other collection video, I really wanted an automatic chronograph, and I got one, so there it is. Now, next watch, and shout out to my buddy who gave this to me. It's an HMT conor. Now, I made this watch. I actually made a review of these watches. Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. But I made a review of these watches. I honestly don't really think it's that good of a video, to be honest. But some of you guys liked it. So these watches are actually from India. Great watches. 50 to 70 bucks gets you one of these. Canadian, by the way. Great watch. And not expensive by any stretch of the imagination. Made in India, using a Citizen manual wind, or based off a Citizen manual wind movement. Kind of an interesting watch. And if you're over here in the Canada, or the obviously North America, and you have one of those, chances are you're not going to see a whole lot of other pieces. That brings me into the fact brings me to the next watch, which has actually come something that I kind of want to mention, is that I know a lot of people, once they buy, a Tudor Black Bay, or they buy, an Omega or something else, a little bit higher end horology, they all of a sudden don't want to wear any of their lower end pieces, and they think they're junk, or they almost want to sell them and get rid of them. This is an SNK 807 Seiko 5. Great watch. I don't know why Seiko discontinued the SNK line, and they just had the 5KX line, which is stupid in my opinion, because those things are... Yeah, I'd save that opinion for another day. But great watch, great entry-level piece, and I still enjoy wearing this regardless of whatever I have. So that's my thing, just as a little thing to, you know, other watch collectors. Just because you have high-end watches doesn't mean you can't enjoy the low-end pieces too. The entry-level, so not low-end. Cool watch. And also, this is my only Seiko. I did sell my SARB 035. I don't know, I kind of regret it, so I might buy another one, I might not. Who knows? But anyways, I'm going to showcase my actual, like, my beater watch. And this one I wear when I'm working on cars. I'm out doing yard work. When I think of this watch, I think of, if I could damage a watch in any way, this is the watch I'm going to be wearing, okay? If I'm in a situation where I could damage it, this is the watch I'm going to be wearing. And realistically, it's taken a licking and it keeps on ticking, as Timex motto is. So I actually, interestingly enough, it's all scratched up. It's beat up pretty good. It still works. Indigo function. That's legit. Another thing to know, don't spray bug spray on it. I took a camping spray, bug spray on it, and it discolored the case. So it's like a plastic color. Okay, so next watch. The Tudor Black Bay kind of took over for my kind of high-end diver and what I really kind of like to wear. So this one has kind of been put on the back burner for a little bit. But it's my Oris Aquis. Great watch. Honestly, just I really like it. Build quality on Oris is just next level, especially for the price point. The one thing you're going to have to watch out for is just those proprietary lugs. And they also make things extremely expensive for you to find, straps and, you know, stuff with bracelets or whatever you want, right? So it's kind of like either you stay with the rubber strap that I had. Actually, if you know from any of the other videos I had on a rubber strap, put it on a bracelet. But you're either stuck with these kind of options or you're expending an exorbitant amount for an aftermarket one, which someone wanted to fit custom. So that's the thing. Really be careful about when you're buying the Oris. But if you go and buy one as your first entry-level luxury watch, or your fray into the, you know, higher-end kind of market, I understand it's like, you know, a couple $1,000, under $3,000 Canadians. But honestly, great watch. Can't go wrong with an Oris. I give you 2 thumbs up on that. And in this case, I have another Tag Heuer, which I know I kind of poo-pooed on the aquaracer line in one of my videos, basically talking about why people hate Tag Heuer. And then I didn't even take my own advice. I mean, I have an Oris, so hey, I did do that, but I didn't buy Captain Cook and didn't buy a Longines Hydro Conquest. Honestly, Longines Hydro Conquest, not my cup of tea. I don't really like the way they look for some reason. Not my thing, okay? But this, honestly, I love it because of the dial, okay? It's a blue dial. It's the closest thing I'm really going to get to for like a 5711, under $200,000. People have offered me money to buy this right off my wrist because just how I think it's a great finished dial. It's probably the best finished dial that I've seen out of the aquaracer line. It's really, really beautiful. And I understand there's shortcomings to it. The diver's extension is pretty flimsy looking, just stamped. It's not that great. The bezel is pretty tinny sounding. It's not the best bezel action. I mean, the bezel action's okay. It's just tinny, right? Not like the Tudor. Tudor's just... that's some next level bezel action. No, not quite as good as an S&P. So I don't know why people like to compare them so often, because the S&P blows this thing out of the water. Okay? But great watch. I really like the Tag Aquaracer, or at least this reference, okay? And at the price I paid for it, it was a no-brainer for me to buy it. Like, I couldn't say no to it. And I do enjoy it, and I like it quite a bit. So... you know, and this is the thing. Sometimes you're going to find watches that even though technically one watch is the actual better product, you're going to find that you might buy something that's an inferior product because it fits your wrist better, or you like it better, just how it wears. You like the color of it more, or they don't offer that color, that specific color in the sunburst style or whatever, right? So with that aquaracer, that's kind of the thing for me. It's a 40.5 millimeter, 40.5, something like that. And obviously the Aquis is a 43.5. So obviously wears way better for me. This is the Orient Mako USA 2. I used to wear this a lot before I got my Aquis. And to be honest, it's kind of sat in the back burner. I don't really know if I'm going to keep it or if I'm going to sell it. I honestly, as an entry-level diver, you can't go wrong with an Orient Mako. Obviously, polar dial, or I guess not polar dial, the stark white dial, I think they call it. But it's really cool watch. Sapphire crystal, interestingly enough, which the regular Makos don't actually come with sapphire crystal. So the USA models do. Moving on to another watch that probably just doesn't get really any love in my collection right now. I don't think I've worn this in probably about 2 or 3 months now, and it's the Raymond Weil Percival. And it's not that I dislike the watch. I actually really like this watch. I used to wear it a lot, if you remember from my last video, or last year anyways. I mean, I like the bracelet. It's a really cool bracelet. You have a high polished center link, brushed outer links. It's just really interestingly designed. Good quality watch. I just don't find myself wearing it that much. I understand people will be like, oh, it's a little bit of a Datejust homage. Kind of not. I mean, the dial looks like a Datejust, but everything else about the watch is completely different. Like, obviously, the case and bracelet and everything is an interesting watch. I probably will sell it and make way for something else. On to another watch, which is, I'm not a big fan of homages, but I do have this, and it's a cool watch. Interestingly enough, if I had it side by side with the 1601, I have a Datejust 1601 as inventory. But if I had this side by side, you can tell obviously this is not as well put together as a Rolex Datejust, but it's not bad. Obviously, it's a Rado Purple Horse, and I've got this as a 26th birthday gift from my parents. Really cool watch, and honestly, I got it because obviously it's splash red with the anchor, and the really cool little purple seahorses, or kind of reddish color. Really cool watch. I think it's pretty comfortable. Obviously, the rolled links on the bracelet, they do tend to catch some hairs, but you know, it is what it is, right? Next watch, moving along. I got an Omega Pi Pan Constellation. This is one of those watches, same as the Tudor, that was supposed to be inventory, but then I kind of looked at it and he was like, I really like it. I'm going to keep it. My mentality when I bought this watch was, I'll sell it. It's a pretty cool watch. And I ended up, because I really wanted a stainless steel one on a beads of rice bracelet. This is not stainless steel. It's two-tone, right? It's gold. And so I was actually at a local watch meet, which I'm the moderator of the group, and they were all telling me, they're like, oh, don't sell this watch. It's really cool. You'll probably regret it. And I guess, you know, I listened to their advice. And honestly, I really like this watch. It's my dress watch. And people have offered to buy this off my wrist, and so far I've continued to say no to them. And I guess this leads to almost kind of like, it's very similar, but kind of different, is my Rado Hyperchrome, which it's my other dress watch. I really like this watch. Gorgeous sunburst dial. And Rado makes really cool stuff, especially when, obviously, this is high-tech ceramic case, and then you have ceramic center links, stainless steel outer links, so you can see where it's all scratched up on the stainless steel, because I did buy this watch used. Bought it for, like, pennies on the dollar, because the guy needed some money. And I got a great deal on this, but really, realistically, just ceramic is like untouched, unscratched. You can't see a single scratch on it, whereas the stainless steel is obviously scratched up. So Rado, you can tell that there's ceramic. Master Materials obviously does work. And I know that I just don't understand why Rado isn't as popular here in North America. I understand they make some weird and ugly stuff. I'm namely thinking of the Diastar. That thing is, I don't know, it's like a dial and case that only a mother could love. Weird, pretty weird, ugly, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Anyways, so favorite watch, my Omega Seamaster. And I understand not Omega's best work here. I mean, it's actually the 1000 series. It's kind of the last in-house movement that Omega made before they went to Edda's, and I call it the dark ages, kind of like we don't talk about the 80s and your parents' hairstyles during the 80s. Same thing, I don't talk about Omega during the 80s. They made some funky, weird stuff. Late 70s, Omega Seamaster. This is my first automatic watch, my first luxury watch. It was a gift. My parents pitched in half for my 25th birthday, and I credit this watch as kind of being the watch that really got me into watches. That's why it's my favorite. I understand there's better watches even in my collection than this one. I understand it's not even a heavy hitter from Omega, but it's special to me because when I think about watches, it kind of brings me back to the simple design and everything. It's simple. I love it. I can wear it with so many different things. It's versatile. Anyways. Actually, I could go to the very first watch I made, or sorry, not made. I didn't make this. I wouldn't make this. But I call it an oopsies. It's the very first watch I bought. It's a Skagen Melby Titanium. Would I buy it again? Hell no. Would I sell it? No, because it got sentimental value. I bought it because the timing on my lessons when I was student teaching was way off. My university facilitator came in. She was marking stuff, and she'd basically give suggestions on what I could do to improve my teaching habits or my style of teaching. And she was like, your timing's off because there's no clock at the back of the classroom. I don't know why there wasn't a clock in there. Basically, she was just like, yeah, you need to get a watch. So I went down, picked that out, which I could have done a lot worse. Could have bought like a Daniel Wellington or some garbage like that, but I didn't, thank goodness. Still a fashion watch, wouldn't buy it again. Probably would go with something else like a Seiko or something else. There's so many other options. I just didn't know. I wasn't educated. So very first watch I ever got that at least I can consciously remember was this like Casio that my parents bought for me. I think I was maybe like 11 or 10 or 11, something like that. I might have had one before. But anyways, it's like there's rubber straps all peeled off. They broke off, bricked itself. I wouldn't throw it out just because of sentimental value. I think I might have had one before, but I have no idea where that went. But this is the one that I can consciously remember as being the first one. I used to set alarms during this so it would like go off on my teachers and piss them off. So interestingly enough, even though I was a good student, or sorry, I'm a teacher, I used to do things that piss off my teachers. They could probably watch this video maybe and be like, yeah, we remember that. You were annoying. But anyways, and I think, honestly, yeah, I guess every kid used to, our parents always buy us Casios and buy us Apple Watches back in the day. But anyways, I think that if you are a true watch collector, next watch, obviously, if you're a true watch collector, you have to have at least one Casio in your collection. Now, obviously, I got the data bank. For the money, I don't think there is a better, at least digital watch. What, like $40 or something like that? $40 Canadian. You get a calculator function. You get dual time zone. You get so much with this watch. You get stopwatch. I use it for working when I'm working out, when I'm playing hockey, when I'm playing sports. Just great watch. 2 watches, my uncle gave them to me. One watch is basically, it's a Perios fashion watch. Put a battery in it, it bricked itself. Then I'm not going to put another battery in it because I'm just not going to wear this, to be honest. And it's not that I don't appreciate getting something, it's just not my thing. And I do appreciate that my uncle gave me his 2 personal watches. And this one, while it's a tree hut, so zebra, made out of zebra wood, and I like this watch, but I also don't like wooden watches, or at least this kind of thing. And I wish it was just kind of better built. And I think that wood watches have potential, even though it's not a very good material to make watches out of. I'm a former construction teacher, so that's why I actually like this watch, just because of the cool factor. It's made out of zebra wood. It's really light. It's comfortable. But I would say, like, you get the quality control of these watches is just not good. I can't recommend them to anybody. I mean, you get water underneath the dial because the dials are not underneath the dial. Underneath the crystal will stain the dial because the crystal's not sealed properly. Just stuff like that. Just kind of sloppy things where it's like you can tell they're selling it based on the idea that it's a wooden watch and not on the idea of like we're actually going to make a quality wooden watch. So maybe if they made that, it would be good. And I understand this is not high horology. It's really just kind of, most people would think it's junk. I don't necessarily think it's junk. I just think that it could be a lot better. But I'm okay with it. Like, I don't mind it. I think it's cool. I think that the concept is cool. The execution's just not very good, if that makes sense. On to this one. This was a vintage piece that I got. I bought it with the intention to sell it, and I ended up I had to have it serviced. It took almost like 11 months, which is insane because my watchmaker had to find parts for it. And if you know the history between, like, the connection kind of between Secure and Breitling, you can look that up. It's kind of cool. I personally think it's a cool watch. Don't know if I'll sell it or not because it was kind of away from the collection for so long. I almost forgot what it looked like. But, I like having those weird vintage watches. The people are like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. Okay, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, why do you still have this piece of junk? And I'll tell you, because it's cool. It's a cool piece of junk. It's a lovable piece of junk, okay? It's like that car that's like, it has so many problems, but you still like it. That's this thing. Shortcomings. We'll not call problems. Shortcomings. There we go. Make it sound professional. Vostok Amphibia. I like this watch. It reminds me of when I go boating, fishing with my dad. And this is, I don't understand. This thing will get more likes on it than, like, if I post my Tudor picture on Instagram. So, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Tudor's a way better watch. But, as I said, you can enjoy entry-level pieces and still enjoy higher-end pieces. I'm kind of like variety. I mean, yeah, certain pieces you kind of see where I've kind of settled with. But Vostok Amphibia, really cool watch. There are shortcomings. The bezel's darn near useless. The wobbly, weird crown it's just, yeah, obviously there's no quick set date. Pain in the butt. If you see the review video I did. But realistically, you're buying a Soviet-era relic, okay? If you think you're buying a brand new watch, you're going to be disappointed. Soviet-era relic. That's what it is. And if you accept that, it's awesome. Is it high horology? No, but it is historical, and it is cool. And it wears really nice, too. So, why not? And people think it's cool. Because if you're a watch collector, you know the Vostok. You can mod them. You can do whatever you want. That's my friend who gave me the HMT. He does a lot of cool mods. I even featured some of his watches. Anyways, last watch. Kind of leave it off there. Waltham pocket watch. Yeah. Didn't think I'd have a pocket watch, did you? This is actually my great 3 or 4 great uncles. He fought in World War I. Super cool dude. Didn't ever get to meet him personally. But my great aunt gave me this watch, and she's like, I didn't know who to give it to. No one in our family collected watches or even cared about watches. And she's like, I'm super happy that someone, in our, extended family actually cares about watches. So she gave it to me, and that's why I am the owner of it now. And I had it all basically cleaned, and my watchmaker took care of it. I was surprised he even found a crystal for it. But this thing's like 100 years old. It's crazy. Am I going to wear it out? Could I wear it? Maybe. No. It sounds like a literal ticking time bomb from like a video game. Like if you're playing like, demolition or something on Call of Duty. But yeah, cool factor, I will say. But anyways, that's it. That's the end of the collection. Thank you very much for taking time to even listen to this. But anyways, take care. You guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you later.